How's it going, guys? Midway Piper here. I hope all is going well. Rooster always has something to say every time I start recording. Today is going to be an episode of Pipes and Books. So, let's jump into the pipes. Got the Morgan Bones Mini Lumberman. This thing's coloring up very nicely. And in it, felt like a bit of a vapory kind of mood. So I have some Sutliff 1894, which is delicious mixtures of rich Virginias and spicy Perique tobaccos. Nice and vague. Anyways, but it's a it's like a regular ribbon cut, but burns nicely. So as a quick amendment to the video I made yesterday about the lighters, a couple of other guys commented similar situation at other stores in New York as well. And it dawned on me that when I go grocery shopping, the closest store is actually just over the Connecticut border. So when I normally buy lighters, it's actually in Connecticut. So that may have something to do with never being carded for it. So, yay, New York. Anyways, since my last Pipes and Books video, I haven't done too much reading, to be perfectly honest. Watched a lot of YouTube videos instead. I didn't really have too much time to sit down with a book, and instead of doing an audio, watching some YouTube videos on stocks and investing and stuff. So I didn't do too much reading. I did finish one book last week, started and finished one, and that was All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. This was a free book for a couple of days, and so I had it. I hadn't read it yet, and so I downloaded the book and finished it. So that's All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. If you're not familiar with Cormac McCarthy, you're probably familiar with Cormac McCarthy. He wrote The Road, which was made into a movie with Viggo Mortensen. Great movie, great book. He's written, let's see, so the bibliography. I'm trying to think of the name of one of the other books. Blood Meridian. Very oddly written, very bloody Western story that I actually DNF'd that book. I did not finish that book. I just could not get into it. It just seemed like sort of a whole bunch of insane violence for absolutely no reason. And if I remember correctly, that is also a book where there isn't much for punctuation in it. And so following along was also difficult. But this book, All the Pretty Horses, this is book one of, what's the series called? Oh yeah, No Country for Old Men. also by Cormac McCarthy. Probably familiar with that one. The Border Trilogy. So the other books in the Border Trilogy, we have All the Pretty Horses. We have The Crossing. Haven't read this one. And then Cities of the Plain. Haven't read this one either. All the Pretty Horses was a pretty good book. They're very much along the line of westerns, which I don't read too often. All the Pretty Horses was a pretty good book, but I'm not exactly chomping at the bit to get into the other two. I've heard The Crossing, second one, is a really, really good book. Just real quick, All the Pretty Horses, the first volume of the Border Trilogy, tells the story of the young John Grady Cole, the last of a long line of Texas ranchers. Across the border, Mexico beckons, beautiful and desolate, rugged and cruelly civilized. With two companions, he sets off on an idyllic, sometimes cosmic adventure to a place where dreams are paid for in blood. So, pretty good story. Yesterday, I guess it was yesterday, maybe the day before, I was watching, I was looking at books on sale on Audible. And there was a book, it was the autobiography of Andrew Carnegie, or Carnegie, depending on what you want. There's my dog. There's my dog's butt. And I've been interested a little bit in what are often known as the robber barons. Some of them I care for, or I'm more interested than others. And Andrew Carnegie is, Carnegie is how it's often pronounced here, but Carnegie is the proper Scottish, I believe. I don't really know too much about him, other than he was known for sort of the Steel Empire. So I just did a little bit of some Wikipedia searching on him, and what I read piqued my interest a little bit. So I went ahead and downloaded that book. It is the autobiography of Andrew Carnegie. Is the first half of the audio, or 3/4, I guess. And the second part of it is another book he wrote entitled The Gospel of Wealth. The Gospel of Wealth. We'll try that without a pipe in my mouth. Leo. Hi. It's my one-eyed pity, Leo. So, I've listened to just over half of the autobiography today. Tomorrow I'll probably finish that along with the Gospel of Wealth. So if you're not familiar, towards the end of his life, he essentially gave away about 90% of his wealth. which is why there's so many things in the United States named after Carnegie at this point. So yeah, he gave away about 90% of his wealth, which is pretty amazing, all things considered. A lot of the what are often called as the robber barons are known for the generational wealth that they handed down. A lot of his wealth went to the creation of, I believe, hundreds, if not thousands, of libraries and art institutions, music halls, things of that sort. Being given access to a library when he was younger made a huge difference in his life, and so later on, when he was able and wealthy enough to do so, he wanted to return that favor. So I'm going through those two books right now. I'm very interested to get to the Gospel of Wealth, figure out at the later point of his life when he was sort of in the process of so he essentially sold off Carnegie Steel to J.P. Morgan, and that became U.S. Steel. The latter part of his life ended with him essentially managing and giving away his money. So, piqued my interest. So I'll finish those books in the next day or two. And then I went ahead and picked up two other books. The first one is The Tycoons. How Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, Jay Gould, and J.P. Morgan invented the American super economy. I read a book already on Jay Gould and his railroad schemes. Certainly made his money. Not too much good to say about him, but these guys played a huge part in shaping the American economy. So that's that. And the final book I got is it's a big beefy one. This is a biography of Andrew Carnegie. And this one is let's see, actual text, not right around 800 pages. Yeah, 801 pages. This is a big, thorough biography of his entire life. So the autobiography is interesting, and I think will be an interesting contrast. Be an interesting contrast from his point of view in comparison to sort of the history that he's gone down as. So there's a picture of him. The man. So yeah, that's what's going on in the reading world right now. Like I mentioned, we're going to Legoland, leaving Wednesday morning. Spend the day in the park. Wednesday night we'll stay at the Legoland Hotel. Thursday we'll finish up in the park and then come home. So that'll be that'll be fun. My son is super excited about that. So that's the plan for that. But when we're driving in the car, he doesn't like listening to audiobooks. So we'll probably listen to some of his playlist. It's only like a 40-minute drive, so it's nothing crazy. Yeah, that's the plan. Got at work we got a crew, landscaping crew coming in for the next couple of days. We bring in some large machinery and clearing a lot of invasive vegetation in one of the enclosures. It's been overgrown for years, and the amount of thorns and pricker bushes and trees that have come down in there, and firebush, which is a very invasive plant. Got to put in some more fencing in there, and so they're going to clear a lot of that out so we can get to fencing in the not too far future. I went in with a gas-powered pole trimmer today to try to make a sort of an initial path for them to follow. I went through a full tank of gas, and it's just so thick and dense you can't see anything once you're in the middle of it, and got lost in there a couple of times trying to guesstimate where I was going to come out the other side, and not quite. And then I ran out of gas, and I figured, they're bringing the big equipment tomorrow, so they'll clear it out, and we'll really refine the pathway once they've made some progress with that. So that'll be my deal tomorrow, managing them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll see when the next video is going to be. But unless something happens, might be it until we get back from Legoland. But my fingers are looking better, almost normal. Pretty normal, so that's good. A couple more days of prednisone, and hopefully that'll keep it down and it won't go back up. So yeah, maybe things will get back to relative normal. We'll find out. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you have not in the know, I wasn't until yesterday, I guess. Sonoran Slinger, if you guys follow him or followed him, or his old channel is sort of lost in the ether. So if you are not already subscribed to his new channel, go ahead and do that. It's Sonoran Slinger 2. I'll link it down below. Good to see that silly bastard back up and going. So if you don't follow him, go check out his channel. Good stuff. Get his numbers back, his subscriber count back up. So all right, that's it. I'll talk to you in the next one.